What's up, YouTube? It's Daisy, the hostess with the mostest, and somebody who loves to share what works for me in my world in the hopes that it'll work for you in your world too. So if you don't want to miss a thing, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. In this video, I'll be sharing a few basic tips that I've used for many years that will help you with the college application process. No, this is not going to be one of those videos where you can get into an Ivy without doing any of your homework. But it is a video on simple ways to organize the entire process. So, without further ado, let's get into the tips. Now first, before we get into the tips, relax, take a deep breath, and don't go crazy. As much as I want to say that this will be a stress-free process, it isn't and it won't be. But if you follow the 3 basic steps that I've stuck with for over 25 years, you and your student will be able to tackle anything in a timely manner. I've done this 5 times already. And you'll see below all the schools that my children have attended. At one point, I actually had 3 of them in college at the same time. So if I can do it, you can do it. Just follow my 3 basic steps. Step 1. Prepare. By the spring of their junior year, you should already know the following. What can you afford? There's nothing worse than your child telling you they've been accepted to a college and you've got to say, I can't afford to send you. Today, on most college websites, you'll find a college net calculator. And if you plug in some basic financials based on your income, you should be able to determine if you can safely afford that school. So that should be the first thing on the list, affordability. Next, grades. Does your child have the grades and the minimum qualifications needed to get in? Keep an eye on those report cards. Those are good indications of if your child has the grades to get into the schools that they're eyeing. Do they need help with SAT, ACT? Do they need extra tutoring that may help them bring up a grade? So definitely keep an eye on the report card so you can safely know what schools they are going to be good at applying. How many colleges are they going to apply to? People forget that the college application process can become expensive. I've seen the fees as low as $40 and as high as $100, and that's per application. So if you're on a budget, make a list of the must schools that you have to apply to and start saving those pennies because it can become pricey. One aspect that gets overlooked a lot in the college application process is the high school college advisor. Do you know who they are? You want to be on a first-name basis with these people, trust me. The ratio for counselors to students, in my opinion, is abysmal. At daughter number 5, which just went off to college this past fall, for a graduating class of 300, there were 2 delegated college advisors and 4 guidance counselors, all assigned to help them with paperwork, transcripts, recommendations, essays, and any other document that must be officially sent from the high school to the college. So if you get my drift, 300 students, 5 people, and everybody is running around like crazy, trying to get all of their stuff done. So it's very important, like I said, that you're on a first name basis with these people. That way you can call them up if something is missing, if you're missing a transcript, if you're missing a recommendation. You know the person that you can reach out to, and they'll be able to guide you in the right direction. Also, the college advisor is in a position to help you with fee waivers. Sometimes based on your income, you can qualify for fee waivers, and those are the people that have the fee waivers. Especially if your child gets free or reduced lunch at school, you get tons of waivers that you can use for the SAT, the ACT, college applications, whatever. Those fee waivers come in handy if you're on a budget. So, don't be shy. Make sure that if your kid qualifies for the free or reduced lunch at school, that they fill out that application, because that opens up the door to the fee waivers. So definitely make contact with the high school college advisor. She's going to be your best friend during this whole process. Step 2, the plan. In my home, the plan has always been the dream schools, state schools, safety schools. Let's start with the dream schools. You know the ones I mean, the Ivies, the Stanfords, the Georgetowns, the NYUs of the world. I know I said that affordability was very important, and it is. But if you have a student, or if your child is a top-notch student, and I mean someone that's, has a high grade point average, they've managed to ace their SATs, their ACTs, their APs, and all their ducks are in a row, by all means, you should throw your hat in the ring. These schools have huge endowments, and they give tons of money to kids who would never have a chance to go there, except that they have great grades. I myself have sent 4 of my daughters, well, really all 5 of them, here in New York. I sent one to Cornell, sent one to NYU, sent one to Barnard, Fordham, and now Pace. And because they were top-notch students academically, they got tons of money to go. Or else I would have never afforded to send them there. So don't be afraid of the dream schools. Select a few, select them all. If you have a student that has a good chance of being recruited by one of these colleges because of their grades. Okay, now state schools. Apply to as many as possible. You get more money if you stay in state. I've been blessed to live in New York, a very progressive state when it comes to education. All my children attended universities here. Like I said, Fordham, NYU, Cornell, Barnard, and now Pace University. And as of September 2017, in New York, all SUNYs, which are their state schools, and CUNYs, which are their community colleges, are now free if parents make no more than $125,000 per year. Yes, you heard that right. If you're a parent and you make no more than $125K per year, your child can attend a SUNY or a CUNY for free. Now, New York is not the only state that's offering free college tuition. I know California, Indiana, there's a few states out there that are starting to give free college to their students. So definitely look into that, because state schools, not only do they give you more money, but one may be free near you. Now, safety schools. Everyone who applies to college should apply to a safety school. Why? You don't want to risk getting rejected from all the other schools you've applied to, i.e. the dream schools and some state schools. I've known kids with top-notch grades, and they got rejected from state schools. The competition is really thick, and a lot of kids are going off to college. So, safety schools are a must. Now, a safety school is a school that you have an extremely good chance of gaining admission. So definitely check out your community colleges in the area. That's a good place to start. Your GPA should be well above the average student at that school. And your SAT or ACT score should be above the 75th percentile for that school. So if you have those qualifications, then definitely community college. If you can't get into the dream school or the state school, you have to go somewhere. Community college is a good place to start. And no college with an admissions rate of lower than 15% should ever be considered a safety school, no matter what. If a college is that selective, regardless of your grades and SAT scores, you can never assume that your odds of admission will be greater than 80%. So, make sure that the safety school is in fact a safety school. Now let's get to the final tip. Step 3. Organize. Get those file folders ready. The file folder system is a great way to keep all your documents, applications, and the many forms coming your way organized. So get over to Staples, pick up a box of folders. You'll thank me later. Now, one of the first folders that I always start with is a folder for each college that my kids have applied to. So that's a great way to track all the different forms that the colleges are going to require. Even though today most kids apply via the Common App, there are a few colleges that don't accept the Common App. So you're going to need a folder for those colleges as well. And you'll be able to keep the forms in there and keep track of what you sent them, what you mailed them, what you've uploaded. I always keep like a little checklist on each side of the folder on the inside. And that way I can tell at a glance that those colleges got and received all of their forms. The next form is the student folder. And in that folder, I tend to keep a copy of the photo ID, driver's license, copy of their social security card, the official high school transcript, SAT, ACT, or other college-approved test scores. Medical records, including immunization records, are also good to keep in this folder. Tax returns. You're going to need current tax returns for both parents and the student if the student filed a tax return. If you're in a one-parent household, you're going to have to get the non-custodial forms because they're going to want to see the tax returns from the parent that lives outside of the household too. So make a folder and make sure that you keep your current tax returns for both parents in that folder. FAFSA. That's the free application for federal student aid. Now, you will be doing one of these FAFSA forms every single year that your child's in college. Once you plug in all your information, it returns a student aid report, also known as the SAR. You can download this document, and it's going to give you some basic information about your eligibility for federal student aid and other stuff that your kid may qualify for. In my state, that happens to be TAP, Pell, or any student loans. So make a FAFSA folder. You'll also thank me later. CSS profile. Now this is part of the College Board, and it enables colleges and universities to see a true picture of a family's financial need in order to make college more affordable. Remember all of that endowment money and funds that I told you these big schools have? Yeah, if you fill out the CSS profile, that gives them a chance to look into your financials as well, besides the FAFSA. And if there's extra money out there and they feel that your kid qualifies, you'll get, that's where the scholarships come in, or the extra money, or work study, or whatever that is. CSS profile is a definite must. So create a folder for that. Then you'll create an admitted folder. That means that once those responses start coming in the mail that says your child was admitted, you keep those in that folder. And at some point in time when the process is over, you can sit down with your family or your children or your significant other and go over all of the schools and whatever package they offered, whatever financial aid they offer, and hopefully that'll be an easy way for you to decide which school, is best for your child. So that's it. I think if you guys use this file folder system, and like I said, it's a great way to keep all of these documents handy and, available at a moment's notice, you guys should get through this process without pulling your hair out. So I hope some of this information helped. Like I said, I've used it for many, many years. I found success using the folders and, using the steps. There's no need to be anxious or afraid. The college process, while kind of stressful, you can make it through alive. So that's it for now, guys. I hope that you like what you heard and that you subscribe. And I'll see you again around Daisy's World. Ciao!